I am becoming nothing. The more I ask myself who I am, the less I become. That's how this tricky thing is. This simple question reveals that everything I thought I was is conditioning. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. In one of the sessions of Who Am I realized that I live by such a narrow definition of good and bad, right and wrong. I'm measuring myself and others with a tiny ruler, and on that tiny ruler, the acceptable space in which I can operate is about 3 millimeters. And that's the truth. And that makes you very, very tight. Very tight. Because you are so in a tiny, tiny, tight corridor, and you can hardly move or do anything that is not contained there. But you only see that when you are out of it. And that's what I go on talking about. You have to break down, you have to loosen up, you have to melt, you have to let go. But you are not even aware of it because it's so much part of you. It is you. Here I am with an infinite existence and the opportunity to live my short life to the fullest, and I keep myself in a prison box of 3 millimeters. I just had to shout out in shock and frustration. Good. And luckily, I have shouting and screaming part of this Sangha, because you have to be allowed, whatever way you feel, you can release this old tension. Good. Maybe nothing happens also, it can be just like a soap bubble that breaks. Poof. Washing dishes in the kitchen during the primal group, I had the realization that the good in me is also conditioning. It is easy for me to see the bad conditioning and want to get rid of it, but this good conditioning is so deep that I think it's me. It's more difficult, and it's good that you see it. And that's the amazing thing, because I can talk about it day in and day out, but you have to realize it. The good is just the other side of the bad, and both has to go. And that's what I mean, this goody-goody. It doesn't work here. As long as it is from your conditioning. You are goodness, you are consciousness, you are awareness. But that can only come forth when this good and bad has gone. Not only the so-called bad, but the good too, because that is also conditioning. Everything good and bad needs to go, and all the layers are not me. I'm beyond good and bad, beyond judgment. Yes. I see all the energy I waste on all these judgments of myself, of others. It's very good that you see, because only then it can change. And this seeing happens only when it happens. It's nothing you can do. It has to be an inner realization. I think I could do so much if I directed that energy into something else. But then I need to be careful, because I could easily start judging myself about that. You have to be careful, but even better, be aware. And that is the whole thing. Now you understand what I'm talking about, that you have to break down. All that old has to break down. Then you have to start training yourself out of awareness. And of course you have to be very cautious, sensitive, in balance. Otherwise you will fall again. Because the habit is so strong. Even if you have seen it, even if you have realized it. No, it needs practice. And that is all up to you. How aware you are to integrate, to start living in the new. Unpolluted by good and bad, just in awareness. Dealing with the moment. Thank you, my beloved, 1,000 times for giving me the gift of your presence, for helping me to come home to myself, for bringing me back to life. At your feet with tears of gratitude. Rahi. All somebody is afraid of nothingness. Because that somebody has to disappear. But remember, Buddha and the Buddhists, they don't talk about God, they talk about emptiness, nothingness. Space, shunya. And in nothingness, can there be any fear? Can there be any judgments? Can there be any good or bad? It is. It just is. And isness is the true religion, just is as it is. It's not this or that, it is just this. So, becoming nothing, that's what enlightenment is. Nothingness. And then to functioning out of that nothingness. That is like Jesus said, you are half spirit, half God, half man, half material, half spirit. You are the physical, but in that physical you have the non-physical. In the matter you have the non-matter. In that somebodyness you have nothingness. And what is nothingness? Is no thingness. No thing. It's not nothingness, it's no thingness. You're not the thing. You're much more than just a thing. It's no thingness. You're much more. And everybody is afraid nothingness. It's like, then what? And then it's just the pure vastness, consciousness. You much rather be a thing. Cling to the thing, little thing. Ting-a-ling thing. So remember, nothingness is not nothingness, it's no thingness. But there's more in this world than just things. But everybody just see things, everybody just see forms, appearances. Everybody is afraid of just that. Only the form dies. the nothingness cannot die, that which is beyond. So realizing that, that is freedom. And it's so simple. I don't know how we got so delusioned. You came without any name, any form, from nothingness. You are nothingness. Just because you are Johnny Johnson, then everything is safe? No, 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 no. John Johnson will go. But nobody goes that far. You find that, back to that, when you are here, you are free then. That is beyond good and bad. So simple, but people are so complicated that they don't understand that which is simple. And that is the problem for any master to talk about. And slowly, slowly, you're becoming more and more simple, more and more natural, so you understand that simple message. Then you are very happy and very grateful at your feet with tears of gratitude. Thank you, my beloved, 1,000 times for giving me the gift of your presence, for helping me to come home to myself, for bringing me back to life. And remember that this realization is not an end, this is a beginning. I always said, when I realized, I saw that it is an end to suffering, but there is no end to bliss. There was a great Zen master called Sosan, and he said this: the great way is not difficult, which all the masters have said. But this is so beautiful, it's so straight, it's really the essence of truth, of Zen. The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. But everybody has. So it's very difficult. Very difficult. But it's not difficult for those who have no preferences. When good and bad are both absent, when love and hate are both absent, everything becomes clear and distinguished. Make the smallest distinction, however, and heaven and earth are set infinitely apart. That is what they call the razor's edge in Zen. The path is like a razor's edge. How can you keep that balance? You have to be very, very weightless, in balance. Then it's very easy. If you're carrying all your luggage, it's impossible. You will fall. It's impossible even to climb. You will miss it. It's so narrow. But for nothingness, it's very easy. You dance on that razor's edge. If you wish to see the truth, then hold no opinion for or against. That is what you just saw. This is what the Master always has seen, but how to transfer that to you? You have to slowly, slowly come to that understanding. No, really take it in. The struggle of what one likes and what one dislikes is the disease of the mind. That is the disease of the mind. And if you have the disease of the mind, you are sick. That's why they call Buddha the doctor, a healer. Because these people can heal you from the disease of the mind that really fucks you up and destroys your whole life. The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Rest in nothingness and be happy. And let everything comes from there. In fact, all joy comes from there because everything comes from emptiness. Form comes from emptiness and go back to emptiness. Being connected with that, you are connected with everything. You are connected with the source.